Hello folks, I've made my way kind of up north, well, kind of the Midlands, it's a lovely day, to a bike thing. Let's go and check out what it's all about, shall we? Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. And welcome, as I say, up north to a bike thing. Let's go and check this out. Now, I've seen this place on other people's videos on YouTube and stuff, and I also met the proprietor, owner, general top man at the ABR festival a couple of years ago. His name is Steve. You may recognise his face from his own YouTube channel. Anyway, check this out. That's Steve there. That's Tom down there doing some work on my bike. We'll talk about that in a second. But Steve, lovely to see you again.
Hey Andy.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
You're looking a little bit tired. I understand you're just back from the US of A.
I am, yeah. Been spending a week riding bikes in Texas.
Fantastic. Yeah. It's a tough old life, isn't it, in this game? We've got an amazing place here. I was just saying to the folks that I've seen this on other people's YouTube channels. You've got a YouTube channel yourself as well.
We do, yeah.
It's a pretty fancy old place here, isn't it? Well, not old, but it's fancy.
Like it. We like it.
How would you describe it? Because there's nothing like any other motorcycle place I've ever been to. I'm thinking, I've been to the bike shed, that's a bit posh. It's kind of that sort of vibe, but without the beardy, weirdy, tattoo type stuff. In my mind.
Apart from this horrendous currently growing out right now.
So how would you describe a bike thing?
How would I describe it? Well, this used to be an old cow shed, believe it or not, and during COVID we decided to buy this whole property and renovate this into what it is today. And I just wanted to have that oldie worldy look. I know a lot of our viewers love this whole look we got here with all the wooden beams, the natural wooden beams. So it's literally a workshop. We've got storerooms all around the property as well, because we store a lot of stock here, which we send out mail order. It's just a nice place to hang out, grab a coffee. It's currently free until we actually open it up to all the public, but we do fresh grounded coffee and stuff. And
so is that the plan, that this can become a hangout for people to come visit if they want to?
It's a possibility. It's not something we're doing right now.
Okay. So don't turn up yet.
Well, people do, and it's fine. It's fine. Like behind closed doors, we're like, who's this then? No appointment. But obviously, anyone who turns up, you are welcome to turn up, and we try to be as nice as we can.
Fine.
But we've got a bigger barn out the back, which has plans or an idea to renovate that. And that possibly could be somewhere where we'd open up for the public to come. But then I've got to question, do I want to live here with hundreds of bikes coming here every weekend? Yeah,
it's a lovely place. I mean, you've got plenty of bikes in here, though. Talk us through some of these bikes you've got. So are some of these your own personal bikes? I know you've also got a Raffle bike, haven't you, which we can talk about?
Yeah, so every bike you see here, apart from one GS, in the end, it is Gary's. I need to start charging him for his bike. But yeah, these all belong to the company, if you like. So I've got my R90. I've always had a very fond spot in my heart for the R90s.
Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? I think these look better than the R1290s, the current retro from BMW.
I agree, but I just had a go on that R12GS.
Oh, that's an amazing,
really like.
Very expensive though.
And so once we're finished with this, when I say finished with it, I invented the tail light on this about 10 years ago. And we're trying to bring it back to market, which we will do eventually. But once we're done with this, then I've had such fun on that new R12GS as a loaner.
And you think you're going to go for that?
It's a good green lane bike.
I saw on one of your videos actually, you riding around your grass over here with no helmet on. Outrageous.
Private land.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got obviously a BMW bent going on. So is it just BMWs you deal with, or other stuff as well?
No, we do all adventure bikes.
Right.
So we don't want to limit it just to BMWs. But yeah, that's probably my favourite bike. This is the one I ride the most, the 900GS. I wouldn't say it's the best bike, but it's my favourite, and I take that off-road most of the time as well.
So what makes it your favourite then?
Because it does everything that my 250 dirt bike, which is in another part of the building, it does everything that does.
Right.
So I've taken this places in Richmond, Yorkshire, where I can't remember the area, but I've had guys on their little 250 scramblers saying, "You're not taking that down there, are you?"
And you do, yeah. I found when I rode that, they were a little bit top heavy. Do you not? I mean, you're a much bigger fella than me.
It is top heavy, yeah. But it's as long as you're rolling, the wheels are rolling, you got the momentum, and you just use all the skills you learn on the smaller bikes. It will look after you. It's just plush. You haven't got to trailer it everywhere. You can ride it to the trails.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Now I can't help but notice you've got some of these. Now I'm having to hold back I'm slightly being sick in my throat because there's a GSA here. Now I'm kind of infamously a bit. Don't get me wrong. The new GSs ride absolutely fantastically well. It's just for me an aesthetic thing. But I have to say, these are some of the nicest looking GSAs I've ever seen, because you've done some blingy bits on these, haven't you? So what's the story with this one?
So this GSA is probably one of the first GSAs in the UK when they first released it.
Yep.
A lot of my subscribers will know the story behind it. I won't go into detail about that. But this was also at EICMA last year.
Wow.
On the Chiggy stand. It's not a bike which, it's not my first choice. I don't think I'll ever go on a road trip on one, because I find there's more fun out there on the GS. You can take the GSA off-road.
Yep.
You can, and I've had this off-road as well. But I still prefer being a little bit more low down. The GS just feels like you can take it off-road and treat it like a dirt bike if you want to.
Yeah.
And I've just been riding one of these in Texas for last week, treating it like a dirt bike.
I must say, although I said that the standard GS wasn't for me when I borrowed one for 6 months, I do. The look of it is starting to grow on me slightly on that. I think it's just because the GSA is so flipping ugly. I'm starting to love this, but anyway.
But the GSA is a phenomenal ride for those who just want to go touring. It's incredible. And who's that fella? Adam Ryman. Adam Ryman. Watching what you can do on the GSA.
I know, nuts. It's nuts, isn't it? Anyway, talking of GSs, mine is in for some work, is it not? So here it is. Now this is incredible, because I'm not known for my spannerage, and I've never seen my bike, or indeed any GS, in this state. Look at this. My word, if I'd done this in my garage, there's absolutely no chance it would ever go back together again. So what are we doing to her today, Steve?
Well, what you just said there, this is something that every customer comes here, because we've got a bike booked in every day. We're always booked up like 2-3 months in advance, and they love this stage. They love to come down here, get photos with Tom, with the bike stripped down. And
this is Tom over here.
Hello.
Hi, Tom. Tom's doing the work, so he's the brains of the outfit.
But they all get excited as soon as that fuel tank comes off. They all get very excited by seeing it in this state.
Yeah, I need to get me cloths out.
Yeah. And a lot of our subscribers know that we've got videos out there showing you how to get your bike in this state. So Andy, you had the option. You could have done this yourself.
Well,
watch that video.
I did see the video. Actually, I thought, nah, it's not for me.
But we teach you exactly screw by screw where everything goes.
I've got toffee spanners. I couldn't possibly.
Right. Okay. But so what? Well, you just asked me what are we doing today. Well, you still need to tell us what you want us to do to it.
Well, indeed. Well, there's a few things going on, isn't there? So first thing is,
seems like it's missing already.
Exactly. So I've got a bit of a mission to black the bike out. It is a triple black after all. So we're going to put on a new exhaust, correct?
Yeah.
And it's not any old exhaust. It's the Jekyll and Hyde one, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. We've got it over here on the workbench. All in the box, ready to go on there.
And it's called a Jekyll and Hyde, Tom, because it's got 2 characters about it, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, at least 2 actually.
Yes.
So explain.
So you'll have a button on the dashboard.
Yep.
When you push that, when you initially start the bike up, it's just quiet. It's nice. It's nice and just like normal, really.
Yep.
Push that button, and
it's an animal.
It just gets an animal. And if you don't want that, you can have it halfway. So you can have a halfway mode as well.
Brilliant. That sounds great. And it's black as well, isn't it?
And is it? I think I picked this up. No, it's definitely black.
Right, excellent. So there's that. And then also, you can't have too many lights on a GS, can you, Steve?
Well,
you can't. It's true. You can't. So a few more lights of some sort, but we've yet to decide exactly what that's going to work out at. So I sense there's a few hours work ahead. We'll give you a little bit of update as Tom goes on, and we'll show you the bit of progress and the finished item a bit later on. Definitely. Right, I think it might be coffee time. Right, wind on about, I don't know, an hour, say, maybe. Might be 10 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, Tom has worked some magic already. Check these out. Look at these. What are these, Tom? Denali what's?
D7 Pros.
Denali D7 Pros. And apparently they work in 2 ways. So these are a daytime running light. These sort of operate as that. And then these operate as indicators as well. So that's going to look pretty cool. And these bits I can have on or off, can't I? These...
So you can have those off, as you say, if you wanted. In the box, it comes with a clear one.
Yep.
So if you just want to run it as a DRL, you can swap them out, or yellow.
But I quite like the amber because it matches the amber in the thing, doesn't it?
It'll be a perfectly good indicator.
Brilliant, excellent. Well, that's all good fun. Can't wait to use these. All right, wind on another 10 minutes. Okay, make that 1 minute. And Tom's worked some more magic. Check this out. Got a massive, well, I was going to say a massive horn. You've got to watch what you're saying here. But up there, look. That's called a Denali SoundBomb, if I remember, isn't it? Yeah, and it's basically like an air horn thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It sounds like a flipping freight train when you use it, doesn't it?
Well.
Fantastic. So we'll demo that a bit later as well. Brilliant.
I'll show you the cool trick with the SoundBomb as well.
Oh.
Because we're going to go through the easy cam, but I'll leave that till the
Okay, right. Oh, something to look forward to. Brilliant. Right, quick break in proceedings. I must show you this toilet. It is, again, there's many things about this place that are the best that I've ever seen in bike place. Now check this out for a gent. So this is, now, it's only fellas that work here as far as I can make out, and this is the sweetest smelling toilet I've ever been in. Anyway, check out the tap, look at that. Loving all this stuff here. Cool. Anyway, just had to show you the toilet. It's very impressive. We're getting to the exciting bit now because it's exhaust time. Check out the packaging here. Look at that, Tom. That's amazing. Yeah. That's, I mean, that's probably 20% of the cost just in the packaging, isn't it?
Yes, and no one sees that because I'm the only person who fits them.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Cool. Right, let's get it on. I'm so glad I left this to the experts. Right, more time has elapsed and the exhaust is in place. Check this out. I know it's outrageous, but I just get very excited by the fact it's black, let alone the noises it's going to make, and got some proper carbon to go on. Check this out. It's going to look sweet. So I think the 1250GS, particularly in triple black form, is probably peak GS. I think possibly not peak GS is this monstrosity. This is a BMW GS Adventure, a 1300GS Adventure, Steve. And this is a bit of a special one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So this is completely unregistered, provided by Wollaston BMW, which we've bought outright, so we can do our project build to it, which we've done. And it's got special paint. This is acid green BMW paint.
Acid green. They know how to name their paints, don't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so this is all the profits from this. So each the raffle tickets are £4.99 each, and all the profits from the raffle tickets go to Derbyshire Blood Bikes. So
can't argue with that cause.
Absolutely. So even if you don't win it, obviously it's got a fantastic cause, but someone is going to win this bike and literally ride away with it.
And when's the draw happening?
28th of November.
And how do people get into the draw and how much does it cost them?
So straight onto our website, there's a prize draw link at the top of our website. It takes you straight through to this, and you can buy a ticket from £4.99 each.
Excellent. So if you're an oddball and you like the looks of the GS Adventure, I know some people do, it's worth a go. I'll put a link below in the description. Go and get yourself a ticket. I won't be entering. We're back. It turns out, if you're like me and you're not a massive fan of the looks of the GSA, there's an alternative.
Yeah, we are going to be offering a cash alternative because I really like how this project bike's turned out and I want it for myself.
Right.
So if whoever wins it doesn't want it, there will be a cash alternative.
Excellent. That sounds more like it. Buy yourself a Ducati then. It's a bit painful. Some drilling of me panels. What's going on here then?
So we're putting the emblem lights on this bike.
Lights on the emblems.
Got to drill a hole that big to get the plug through.
That's a big hole, isn't it?
It's a big hole.
I'm glad you're doing that and not me. Do you feel bad about drilling somebody else's panels?
I like it.
Oh, God. All right, so it's a few hours later. Tom has been working like a Trojan here. As far as I can work out, he's the only one who actually does any work here. But anyway, we won't go down that route. So we've been here a full day, Tom, haven't we?
Yeah.
9 till 5.
Pretty much 9 till 5.
It's all done now. Can you talk us through exactly what you've done? And show us as well.
So we did D7 Pros.
Right, those are the big lights.
The big lights.
Yeah, from Denali.
Followed by SoundBomb, which is just under there.
That's the very loud horn thing. Yep.
You then decided you'd like emblems.
Yes, indeed I did.
So I dug some emblems out and we fitted those.
Yep, so they light up.
Yeah, on fitting those, you needed 2 CANsmarts now.
Right.
So you're now running 2 CANsmarts.
Oh, this is good.
To power everything that you
So
need.
why have one when you can have 2?
Exactly.
Brilliant.
We then added a B6 brake light to the back.
All right, we're going to see all these in action in a mo.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, go for it. There we go. Wow, that is super bright.
And to complement that, we ran the visor dongles, which knock out the indicator.
Yep. Oh, look at that. So we've got a pure indicator there,
Yeah.
rather than being distracted by it being red as well,
Yeah.
which is fab. Yep.
What else have we
The
done?
Looks
good
good.
thing with it is when you put the hazards on,
Yep.
you'll notice that the red light stays on, so it's still factory spec.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, which you don't need that because obviously you've got a B6 there, but if you didn't have that,
Looks really good, doesn't it?
yeah.
Can we have a look at the front lights while she's turned on as well? Oh, and the little repeatery things at the side. So here we go, look at this. So when you put the indicators on, this goes orange. There we go.
But you've asked to have that in amber, haven't you?
Look at that.
No.
Yeah, no, we've changed our minds. Yeah.
You can have it.
Exactly, you can tailor that to what you want, and then when the engine runs, you get these going.
We'll do that.
But we'll do that another time. Yeah, exactly.
We'll do the main event.
And then the other thing, oh well, indeed.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is foot pegs, etc.
Foot pegs, Gilly's foot pegs.
They look really.
And then we went with the gear lever and brake lever on the opposite side.
They look lovely, don't they?
Gear lever on this side, brake lever
Yeah,
on this side.
Yeah, I guess. I always get that wrong.
The main thing you came here for
Yep.
was the Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde, look at that. Looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Maybe stick the camera down
Down the hole.
Right, oh, stick the camera down the hole. Okay, I'm looking at the bottom hole.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, a little flap's gone, look at that. And that makes all the difference.
Makes all the noise.
Brilliant. So we'll have a little bit of a start up outside in a minute, shall we? Just
Get
to
it
see how that
outside.
sounds. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, gents. It looks, I mean, that looks amazing. The lights, I think, are just a great safety thing as well as being pretty blingy.
Yeah.
And, well, you're going to see me coming now with those Denalis, aren't
You're
you?
going to mention something about these rigs.
Go for it.
Okay, because I'm aware you've got quite a big subscriber base in the US.
I have indeed. Yep.
Yeah, so when Advisor brought out these wizards,
Yep.
we had customers all over the world, well, in Canada and US, saying, why can't I have these in my bike? Because in US and Canada, they've got these lights instead. This is a US spec light.
Oh my
They've
God,
got
it's
that.
enormous.
So
it's always bigger in the US, isn't it?
I know. Look
at that.
So they'll be watching this, they'll be relating to that, thinking, yeah, that's what I've got on my bike.
Yeah.
But these are red only, and it won't work.
Right.
However, by the time this video comes out, there's going to be a product called the Visor Can. So as I'm saying this right now, I'm not supposed to talk about it at all, but it is coming out soon. You plug the Visor Can onto your bike, all plug and play. You then fit these European UK spec lights to your US bike, and it'll all work.
Fantastic, and it's all legal.
It's all legal, and you can get that from us here at Bike Thing.
Brilliant. So if anybody wants any of this stuff that they've seen here today, how do they get in touch with you? What's the website address, all that game?
Bikething.com.
God, that's pretty easy to remember, isn't it? Yeah. Right, should we get it outside then? Give it a start up.
Yeah.
Right, moment of truth. We've come outside. We've got the bike here. We're about to do the start up with the Jekyll and Hyde exhaust. Go for it, Tom. So that's quiet mode, is it?
That's like standard mode, first thing in the morning.
Nice and quiet.
Won't annoy your neighbours.
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah. That's naughty, but nice. Try the horn. Yep. Fabulous. Oh, let's do the lights. Let's do the lights with the horn. Ho, 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 ho. Light envy or what? Brilliant. Well, it'll be hard for you to hear it on this dodgy microphone on camera, but it's got a real throaty growl, doesn't it?
Sounds really good.
Sounds really good. So next time you see this bike on the channel, we'll be taking it for a ride so we can get a proper feel for what the Jekyll and Hyde pipe is like and play with all this other stuff. So more to come on this soon. So huge thanks to Steve, Gary and Tom for all their work today. Fantastic job. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Missenden Flyer. Cheerio.